Most importantly, we got the 3 points. Arsenal 2, Wolves 1. And before we break down the match in totality in this match reaction, I just want to say this. It was a bad performance from Arsenal, considering the positions of the league teams. Today was meant to be a day of entertainment at the Emirates for everyone watching, everyone involved, filling their boots. I wanted Gyökeres to fill his boots. I wanted Eze to fill his boots. I wanted Martinelli to fill his boots and continue his performance from midweek and shake off the defeat from last week against Aston Villa. But from minute 1 to minute 90, we never put Wolves under any sort of real pressure. We dominated possession, but clear-cut chances were few and far between. Our first shot on target was from Declan Rice in the 67th minute, and it was still 1-0 right up until deep into the 90th minute. That alone should tell you all you need to know. I think we look jaded. I think we look tired. And I am so glad that we now have a full week off until we play Everton next week at the same time of 8 o'clock next Saturday. Everton won't be easy, and we're going to need to be much better to beat them. But welcome back to Arsenal TV. I am your host, Deanie, and this is your match reaction to Arsenal 2, Wolves 1. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe. And already, if you are still here, make sure you smash a like on the video. Now, it wasn't great, but Arsenal have extended the gap back to 5 points ahead of Man City before they play a tough away game at Crystal Palace tomorrow. We had to win today, and we did. But that performance just wasn't it. I mean, in the first half, from an attacking perspective, everything was coming down Saka's right-hand side. He did get the man of the match today because he was just the best player on the pitch. From an Arsenal perspective, doing everything from that right-hand side. He put in the ball for Timber, who headed over the bar. He put in the ball for Rice, who sent it just past the post, just off target. I think he put in another ball for Gyökeres to almost latch onto, and he just missed as well. Everything was going through Saka. He had his fullback on toast. I think it was Totti for the whole game, absolutely. And without Saka being in that game, Arsenal didn't even win that game. Everything was coming down the right-hand side, and that was it practically for about the first 21 minutes of the game. There was nothing clear cut because Wolves were defending so resolutely. And I said in one of my shorts that this was going to be a tough game. I said it last night in one of my shorts that this was going to be a tough game. And people disagreed with me, thinking that we were just going to turn up and win. And even though that it is top versus bottom, and I was very much expecting that Arsenal were going to turn up and sweep Wolves aside today, that just wasn't the case because they defended so well. And then they get the best chance of the game from a break from an Arsenal corner from Hwang Lee Chan today, running straight down, breaking from our half into their half, from their half into our half, breaking away. Raya saves it, and then White actually pulls up with what looks like he pulled up with a hamstring injury, potentially, because in the replay, they replayed it back, the break that happened, and you see White, I don't know why I keep going to say Rice. White pulls up with a potential hamstring injury. But that was it for like the first 27 minutes of the game. Wolves actually ended up with the best chance of the game, and we lose White again to injury. So the defense had to shake up again with Lewis Skelly coming in, and he actually came in and injected some pace straight away into the team, breaking a line, breaking pass to Rice, who then runs down the left-hand side to get a corner. But that was it for about the first 27 minutes. And as I said, Ben White comes off with an injury, Skelly comes off, and it's another makeshift back four for Arsenal again, because the back four at the beginning of the game was Hincapié at left back, Saliba at left centre back, Timber at right centre back, and White at right back. And then obviously he comes off with a potential hamstring injury. Lewis Skelly comes on, then everyone just basically shifts to the right with Skelly slotting in at left back, Hincapié left centre back, Saliba right centre back, and Timber right back as well. And then for the rest of the first half, Martinelli actually had a very good chance from a Rice corner. Lovely delivery from the Rice corner. And Martinelli kind of like heads it back across goal. And it should have been on target at least. And Arsenal should have at least went 1-0 up then. But we didn't take our chances. Get that header on target, Martinelli. It's a goal. but we didn't take our chances. And then again, towards the end of the first half, the best chance of the game fell to Wolves because Nketiah slips again. That's twice he's kind of slipped in these last few appearances. He slipped against Chelsea, which let João Pedro in, and then he slipped again today, which almost let one of the Wolves players in to get a shot on target. A bit shaky. So Wolves actually ended up having the best 2 chances in the first half. And then we go into half-time 0-0. I'm saying to myself, it's not been great. And these players, if Arteta doesn't make any changes at half-time, they've got about 10 minutes to change something because that wasn't good. First versus second, you need to go and put them under the pump and pressure them. And we didn't dictate that first half in any stretch of my imagination that was on the level of someone that is first right now facing the bottom team. Eze and Gyökeres weren't really in the game. Eze was dropping too deep trying to get the ball. He wasn't really in that 10 position trying to get the ball beyond the end of things, trying to create things. Gyökeres was starving up front, but when you see Gabriel Jesus coming in the last 10 minutes again, like he did midweek, kind of as well, he just has a way of finding the ball. And some reason, if Gyökeres can't get service, he's not great at going to find the ball at the same time. He doesn't want to. He wants to be on the end of things, scoring goals. I get that. That's his game as a striker. But now I'm starting to ask the question, how do you adapt your game? Because you didn't really adapt your game in the first half. Let me know what you think of this in the comments below. I love Gyökeres and I think he's going to come good. He's had a tough start. But now I'm starting to ask the question, can you create your own magic for yourself now? And if you can't do that right now, you need to start learning how to do that. Because again, it wasn't necessarily a great first half. And then within the first 10 minutes of the second half, Mikel Arteta is making 3 substitutions. Odegaard on for Eze, Merino on for Zubimendi, Trossard on for Martinelli, because again, as soon as we start the second half, there was no real change and you need to inject something. And this is why we do have the depth on the bench to try and change something. But even when those boys came on, apart from maybe Trossard, maybe that came on, no one really necessarily injected much, in my opinion. Trossard laid in a nice ball for Declan Rice, who did get our first shot on target from a nice save from Johnson. That did happen. That was made from Trossard. But other than that, did Odegaard do much? Am I being harsh? Did Merino even do much when he came on? Am I being harsh? The substitutions were made early by Arteta, but they weren't as effective as I thought they would be. It was Saka that was still making it very dangerous down the right-hand side. And then a couple of minutes later, it's a beautiful Saka corner on the 69th minute that hits the post and deflects off Johnson and we go 1-0 up. And I'm like, really, that's how we score? That's how we score. Set piece again, because we scored from a set piece, even though it was an own goal, but it doesn't count as a set piece goal for us. Even though it should. Should it? I don't know. I don't even want to think about that. But we go 1-0 up anyway, but I didn't celebrate the goal necessarily. No, I really didn't celebrate the goal. You could say we were the better team overall, but we weren't creating much. I was very unimpressed. But we go 1-0 up. So, happy. And you think we're just going to cruise on and get the 3 points easy. Also, they showed it on the TV that Saka was actually just offside in the build-up. So, what do you have to say about that? Even from the 70th minute right until the 90th minute up until Wolves scored, it was again few and far between. Half chances from Trossard shooting just past the post. Odegaard sending a ball for Gyökeres, who flicks it on and he just misses Trossard running in at the back post. Nothing great was coming. And up until the 83rd minute, as I was making notes on my phone and I was saying to myself, Wolves are still in this game. Wolves are still in this game. And in the 90th minute, they break our hearts. And I'm thinking to myself, how do we actually let this happen? I'm fuming at this point right now, almost numb to it, because I'm like, it's top versus bottom. It's a time for you to actually go and show some authority, dominate the game. But to realize, to have the realization, Wolves were still in the game right until the 90th minute, it's not right. That's not what you expect. Like, we looked tired. We looked so tired. It was a great ball in from their player and a great header. And I'm thinking, we've lost. We dropped 2 points. But as I said, Saka was causing trouble on that right-hand side all game. And he carried this team to the win today. Because it was another beautiful ball in by him. It was almost the perfect story After being out for 11 months and getting your first appearance back at the Emirates in the Premier League game, I thought Gabriel Jesus got the winner. But it was another own goal from their player who was called Mosquera. Wolves scored all 3 goals today and we didn't win the match, but we won the game. Like, I'm so glad that we won the game, but I don't have the energy to be like, you know what I'm saying, go crazy about it, because boy, it was a bad performance, but we got the 3 points. And Saka, rightly so, gets man of the match. It's his balls into the box that get their own goals. It was him that was threatening down the right-hand side for the whole game. Like I said, he was finding that nice combination with right before he goes off injured. Timber is very much a different right back, but he's solid as ever. It was poor to concede that goal. I need to watch the goal back to understand how we actually let the goal go in, but we just weren't clear on our own lines. Wolves' best chances came from our mistakes. We made our own mistakes today as a team. And I thought it was just going to be much better. The fact that we were at home against the bottom side, better than we saw against Aston Villa last week. I don't know which performance was better or worse. Our last 3 performances in the Premier League: Chelsea, Aston Villa, and Wolves have not been great. Like, they've not been great. A win, a draw, and a loss. Not great. 4 points in our last 3 games is not great at all. But we do have 5 points again on Man City at the top of the Premier League. They do have a tough away game at Crystal Palace tomorrow. And we have a week off now. So let's really relax. Let's really rest. Let's really recuperate. And let's really be raring to go again next week against Everton away from home, because it's going to be a tough game. And again, we're going to come up against another low block. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting, the team that Mikel Arteta picks for that game. And hopefully, now that these players have a week off, I want to see Odegaard start that game. I do want to see Gyökeres start that game again with Odegaard in behind him instead now. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Weren't the best performance, but we've got the 3 points. So people, you know, I'm going to do a very quick player ratings right now. David Raya, I'll give, when he was called upon, he made his saves. He was commanding his box. He wasn't the worst player out today. I wouldn't say the goal is his fault as well, maybe. I'd give David Raya a 7. White, decent in the first half, but he didn't last longer than half an hour, so I'll give him a standard 5. Saliba, nice to see him back. I think he was the better out of the defenders today. I'd give him a 7. I'd give Hincapié a 6. I'd give Timber a 6 as well, maybe. And I'd give Skelly a 6 as well. Let me know if I'm being harsh. Zubamendi and Rice. I'd probably give Zubamendi a 6. Rice was probably the better of the midfielders today. Lasted the whole game, was threatening as well. Probably give him a 7 maybe. I'd give Eze. Came off in 55 minutes. I'd give Eze. I'd have to give Eze what? A 6? Maybe even a 5. I might give Eze a 5. Let me know if I'm being harsh there or not. But I don't think Eze was great today, and I think he knows that as well. Martinelli, I'm going to give a 6. He has to get that shot on target. He has to get that header on target, and he just doesn't. Gyökeres as well, I'm going to give a 6. I might give Eze a standing 6 because Gyökeres wasn't no better than Eze. Like, they weren't terrible, but they weren't great either. Saka was the best player on the pitch by a mile today. So I'm going to give him an 8. I'll give him an 8. Was robbed of basically a couple of assists today. He was robbed of a couple of assists, but everything came down his side. Saka was the best player on the pitch. I'll give Saka an 8. I'll give Odegaard, Marino, and Trossard a 6 as well. And I'll give Jesus a 6 as well. So yeah, it wasn't great. Wasn't great. I think the best performance out there today were Saliba, Raya, Saliba, Rice, and Saka. Everyone else was just a bit under par today. Very much under par today, and that's not what you expect. But we can rest now, go again against Everton next week, and try and really get a good performance in, because our last 3 performances in the Premier League have not been great. But that's it for your match reaction. We look jaded, but the 3 points were still collected. Arsenal 2, Wolves won. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please let me know your thoughts on my player ratings as well. Was I a bit harsh? What different player ratings would you give? Let me know your player ratings and let me know your thoughts on the performance as well. Love and guidance, people, and we'll be back tomorrow. Peace.